Hello, hello. Hey, everyone. Whew, what a day. So I'm running behind because normally I start the live stream at 5 p.m. Uh-oh. Forgot to mute myself over here. Oh, hey, Joji. Hey, Nancy. Good to see you both. Oh, my gosh. Look at me. Oh, I'm just a little all over the place at the moment. Bear with me one second. Let me get back in here. Okay. Hey, Ron. Good to see you. Yes. What a day. I had a meeting and I thought I gave myself plenty of time to get back to do my live stream. And apparently not. What was funny is that I had my daughter drop me off so that I would take the train back. Well, I haven't taken the train in a minute. So when I got on, I heard it pull up and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm running late." And I didn't even really pay attention and I ran and I got on the train and I got on the wrong train. It took me the opposite direction. So I realized I was going the opposite direction and by the time the next train was to come, it was about, I don't know, 20 minutes or something like that. So I left the station. I said, "Oh, I'll just take a Uber home." Ubers now, especially here in Los Angeles, a lot of drivers aren't driving anymore. So it's made it rides in demand, plus with the gas prices, it's so high. It was going to cost me like $20 to get home. And I didn't even live that far from where I was. So I called my daughter up and I said, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I'm just sitting here at the house." And so I told her what happened. She's like, "I'll come get you." Anyhow, here I am. It's been a challenge being without a car these days, but for the most part, it's been okay. Today was a little bit of a challenge. Hey, Miss Lisa, good to see you. Hello, hello. I was just talking about my day and how I messed up and got on the wrong train going in a different direction. But I'm home, I'm here, and now I'm ready for a nap. That was a lot. That was a little too much for me. Hey, Miss Kelly, how are you? Good to see you. Oh, okay. So today I left it as open discussion for anything anybody wanted to talk about. Otherwise, I'll pull some cards to see what spirit gives me. Um, I need to get on my game. I put out all these for these different guests. I have some exciting guests. I'm just waiting to schedule their times to come up a little bit later. Next Wednesday, I will not be live because I am going to be in Mexico. Oh, you guys, I can't wait for this vacation. I need it so badly. Um, oh, what's that, Joji? I had a yard full of police. Not quite as exciting as a train in the opposite direction. I don't know. That's a lot of excitement right there. Hope everything was okay. Yikes. Hey, Jay. Good to see you, little bro. And also, this Friday, of course, I'll be doing my coffee chat in the morning at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, but it will also be time for Can You Sing It? And that will be at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time on Lisa's channel, Spirit Intuitive Tarot. So make sure you tune in because we're going to have our surprise guests. I surprise her with a guest, and she surprised me with a guest. So, yeah, we're really looking forward to doing that. And I think I like the distance. I like the 2 weeks because it's something to look forward to. I think if we did it every week, we would get so tired of it. But I do enjoy having it every other week. Searching for a runner. My cat warned me of the stranger danger, but the police helped me feel safe. Oh, wow. Girl, lock the doors. Yeah. You reminded me of we had a police chase here once, and it gets crazy when we have police chases here in Los Angeles because you have the helicopters. So we had this helicopter hovering above our building, and I guess it was a runner. They were looking for someone, but what was a trip was it was the first time because I've seen plenty of police activity here, but they were going to each apartment building. And so we literally had like this look like the SWAT team with like a German shepherd walking through. And I'm talking to my daughter on the phone and I'm all in the window. I'm like Mrs. Kravitz from Bewitched. And I'm looking out the window like, what's going on out here? And my daughter's like, Mom, you might not want to be in the window. And I said, yeah, you're probably right. Ooh, pasta for dinner. Dinner at Kelly's. I love it. Yum. That sounds good. Yes, mystery guests. Ooh. Hey, Darren. First time visit to your channel. Thanks for your advice yesterday. Civil War restaurant experience. Yes, I remember you. Thank you for subscribing and being here. Good to see you. Yeah, so this is not my typical Wellness Wednesday night, Darren, just so you know. Typically, I will have a guest on and a guest that will provide information based on things that help mind, body, and spirit. But tonight, you all have me. A lot of times when it's just me, I may do some coaching or I may have, I'll pull some cards to see what spirit wants me to talk about. Hey, Mashika. How you doing, honey? Giving you big hugs. Good to see you. MMIW out of my front yard 2 years ago to get used to trying to. Oh, you're talking to Lisa. I'm like, what? All right. Well, let's see what Spirit has. If anybody has anything that they want me to coaching wise, well, here's something I would like to put out there and get feedback on. And if for those that are catching this replay, I would love to get your input into the comments, put some information in there. So a lot of you know that I am a coach and a mindset coach. So I like to, I work with individuals that are looking to make changes in their lives, changes for the better, changes to step into their power, to be more confident. So I know doing one-on-one coaching can be a little pricey. So I've been thinking about doing a group coaching session. But my question is, if I did something like that, what would you all be interested in? So some of the ideas I came up with was a while back, I did something, but it was around Christmas time. So it was probably not a good time when I had put that out there. But I can do a workshop on, manifesting, on how to manifest. One on how to build confidence or how to be more confident is another topic. Or I can do another one on empowerment. This one will probably be more towards the ladies, women empowerment. So I'm open to other ideas. Okay, I got a yes from Kelly. Cool. But yes, I would love to find out more from you all if that's something that would be of interest. It would be very feasible. So I want to start working on that. So I would love to have feedback. Hello, Melody. Good to see you. Hi from Oz. Love that. Oh, Mashika, adopting Jennifer, my new puppy on Saturday, my 55th birthday. Can you pick a card or two for our new life together? I would love to do that, Mashika. Oh, honey, I'm so happy for you. All right, Joji. Yes, manifest that new home. I want you to really think about what does it look like? How many bedrooms are you looking for? The more that you can put into that feeling of what this home looks like, then that's what you're going to bring in toward to you. So, good night, Kelly. Good night. Good night. Oh, nice. Lisa will be on the circle of friends. Good. I'm going to come back to you, Mashika. Hold on. Could extreme social anxiety be caused by being an empath? Being around too many people can be draining for empaths. Absolutely. Absolutely. Uh, my daughter deals with social anxiety as well, and I call her a super empath. She's like super, super empathic. But yeah, but you know, it's a way, it's learning how to deal with all of that. You know, sometimes it could be a little bit bigger than just utilizing some tools and things of that nature, but there are different things that you can work with to work with that anxiety. And I know that can be tough. All right. Let me quickly, I want to pull a card for Mashika for her birthday, for her and her new puppy, Jennifer. Hey, Sharon Saib, good to see you. Oh, well, now that's an idea. Empowerment and manifestation together. That's an idea, Melody. And Mashika likes confidence and empowerment. Okay. Well, that gives me a couple ideas. Okay. Mashika, you and puppy. Jennifer. And then after that, I'll pull some cards. We'll see I want to see what Spirit wants me to share with you all. What we should talk about. What does it look like? Hey, Heather. Good to see you. Oh. Okay. So the first card I got here is the Death and Rebirth. So, you know, with losing Wiley, and now you have a new puppy coming in, and, you know, still dealing with the loss with the Five of Pentacles here of your baby. But I got the Three of Cups, and I see this as a reunion. And really, what I'm feeling with this card, it's still like, while he's still there with you. So you have Jennifer coming into your life, and then there's you, but you're still going to have that love. So it's going to be kind of the spirit of him will be there. And I feel like, too, he's going to be working with Jennifer and kind of showing her the ropes a little bit. The High Priestess, see you having peace with Miss Jennifer coming in, and it's going to go both ways. You're there for each other. You're going to be good for each other with the Six of Pentacles coming in here. And the base of the deck, I have the Star, wishes fulfilled. So it's going to be very lovely, my dear. Hey, Jane. Oh, well, thank you for coming in and saying hello. Yeah, appreciate you. Okay. Let's see. What does Spirit want me to talk about? Has anybody else been like super tired? I've been so tired lately. Yeah, I really do think Wiley will work with Jennifer, Mashika. He's still very much there with you. Ooh, belly full of taters. That sounds so good. Okay. All right. Oh, so we got the card of change, the wind, protection, the cave, and home, earth. All right. So, with us being in Mercury retrograde that started yesterday, fun. Um, just okay. It's like going with the wind. This right here, this card reminds me of last week when I was in Arizona. And some of you already either read the story or you heard me talk a little bit about it. Short end of it, I had this entire day planned to help my daughter move out of her dorm room and had plans for the evening, just thinking everything was going to line up like this. And it didn't. It was completely disastrous. Delayed flights, traffic, just nothing fell into place. So literally my world felt like this huge upheaval. And what's important with these type of situations, because we can be going through life, everything's going as planned, things feel good, and then whoosh, like literally you feel like your world's turned upside down and you're like, whoa, how did I get here? And I think one of the first things that's so important in what I learned during that day, which I continue to learn, is to surrender. There are just some things that are outside of our control. And when we're consistently going against that grain and trying to make things fit into a certain space or trying to make it work, we can be creating more chaos for ourselves than just letting go and allowing ourselves to go with the flow. Even today, when I took the wrong train and I knew, I said, I'm going to be late. And for a second, I started freaking out. I was like, oh my God, I got my live stream at 5 o'clock. What am I going to do? And I'm like, you're not going to make it. So why are you stressing yourself out about it? Just go with the flow. So I was like, okay. So I went in and I changed my time to 5:30. It's okay. It's great. Thank God I didn't have a guest on tonight. And I just allowed myself to be in a calm state and just went with the flow. When we create that resistance, again, that's when it's like going up that stream, right? In the boat, you got your oars and you're going against the current. You're just trying to, you're paddling and paddling. You find yourself like consistently, you're not going very far versus letting go of those oars and letting the river carry you downstream. So to get to that space, however, you want to go inwards to that cave. Okay, that protection cave, that place of letting yourself know that I'm okay, I'm safe. Because really, sometimes we need to hear that. We find ourselves kind of in this panic mode and we're stressed out and we're like, oh my God, and just take a moment and stop. Hit that pause button and say, I'm okay. Everything's fine. I'm safe. I just have to let go and surrender and go with the flow. Yes, ride the current. Exactly, Joji. Ride that current. Sailor, I cannot change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails. Oh, yes. Learned a lot from my dad, a former naval officer. He took us on a sailboat trips on the Chesapeake Bay. That's an excellent example, Darren. Thank you for sharing that. It's so true. You can't change the direction of the wind, right? The wind is going to blow the way that it's going to blow. But if you allow yourselves to go with it, not allowing it to take you off and where you feel like you're blowing in the wind because you want to be grounded, right? Get yourself nice and grounded in your cave there, connecting with your emotions and everything else that's going on with you. You just kind of go with that flow. Oh, Jane, I love you too. Thank you. Gosh, that made me, oh, thank you. You don't make me cry. That's so sweet. Thank you. Love you too. Yeah, it's connecting with yourself, connecting with your feelings, connecting with feeling connected with yourself where you're in this space of It's okay. And it took me a while last week when I was in Arizona to get to that space. Uh, Lisa can attest for this because I was talking to her on the phone when I was in the car, and oh boy, I was by myself. Well, by myself, other than Lisa being on the phone in the car. But I was like, bleep, 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 this damn traffic, bleep, bleep, bleep. And so I had a moment. Uh, but yes, it doesn't feel good. And this is what I do sometimes. And just try it on. When you're going through something and things aren't working for you, just acknowledge it. Say, you know what? This sucks. This really sucks. But it is what it is. And I'm going to work with it. Going to adjust. I'm going to use Darren's expression because I like that. I'm going to adjust my sails, right? I'm going to make those adjustments so that I can ride with the wind. And I'm not going to allow the wind to carry me off and spin me around and spit me out, but I'm going to adjust my sails so I can work with the wind. Okay. Allow yourself to go with that flow or with that current or whatever analogy that you want to use, because that is what's going to help you get to the other side. And then when you do, you're like, oh, okay, tomorrow's a new day. And that's what happened. By the time we got to the hotel room, when we were done with that day last week, I woke up the next morning and it was a new day. It was a beautiful day. And I felt great. I felt good. So it was good to get through all of that. Hey, greeter. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Okay, let's see what else Spirit wants me to talk about here. And honestly, if anyone has any questions about anything that may be going on in their life, of how to navigate something or how to anything, this is the time to get some free coaching. So please feel free to put those questions in while I figure out what else Spirit wants me to talk about. Gratitude. This is a big one. Hey, Tracy. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Happy hump day. It is hump day. Gratitude. So, so important. A lot of you heard me say this before. Many of us, I won't say a lot of us, but some of us. Oh, good. Love to hear that. Joji's very grateful today. Beautiful. I am too. Even though I'm like really tired, I am truly grateful for today. It was a busy, busy day, but I kept myself calm through all of it. I had like meetings after meetings today, and then I had to go out for a meeting. And that was a little stressful because when you're used to being at home conducting business all day long, and then you have to go out to do something, it's like, I don't want to, it's too tiring. But when you're in that place of gratitude, it truly helps to open you up to more. Because sometimes some of us were so busy looking at what we don't have versus what we do have. And that's key. And you'll hear me say that a lot because it's a good reminder to always look at what we do have in this present moment, because the present moment is all that we have. So when you're in this space, being grateful for everything that you have. And trust me, I've seen it. The door just opens up to more. Don't worry about what you don't have. And now I'm not saying don't set your sights on things that you want, things that you want to manifest, things that you may want to purchase later on in life. But you don't want to like start obsessing over that. Like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Just trust and believe. Keep setting your intentions there, doing your manifesting, but don't forget what's right in front of you. I always tell people if you have a journal, or if you don't, you can just get like a notebook. It doesn't have to be like a journal, and write down at least 3 things every day that you're grateful for. They're beautiful reminders. And I love that. I love being able to say that I'm grateful for this and grateful for that with my money. Some of you heard me say with my money when I go to buy things at the store and I spend something, I said, thank you, I love you, go and be happy and bring back more friends. That's my money mantra. And they do, they come back with more friends. So it's a lot of fun. Hey, Joan. Good to see you in Seascape. Oh, you're so welcome, Nancy. Yeah, you're so welcome. And I'm happy to hear that that helped you. You're very welcome. So yeah, gratitude is really, really important. So keep that in mind. We'll see. I'm doing a little coffee chat here, I guess. It feels like it. Change and love. So change, that's kind of like that wind, right? We're bringing that up again. Oh, and look what's stuck in my little box here, balance. When change happens, you want to try to bring in that balance and the love for yourself, having patience. All right. Even though today, like, I mean, I just had to laugh. For a minute, I got frustrated with myself that I got on the wrong train and I'm going in the opposite direction. And I'm just like, really, Sonia? Really? But I didn't beat myself up. I didn't get angry. I just brought in the love for myself. I was like, okay, this didn't work out. So let me go try another thing. And then the Uber thing didn't work out. And I'm like, okay, that didn't work out. Called my daughter and she's like, okay, I'll come get you. So just being patient and bringing in that love for myself, everything worked out. I'm here live. It's not like I had to cancel the live stream. It just got pushed back a little bit. So adjusting to the change so that you can bring in that balance, creating a nice balance for yourself. That's really important. Yeah, exactly, Joji. I didn't have to worry about retrograde. I did it myself. That's awesome. I love that. When I fill out a check, I always put thank you on the memo space. I do that on all bills too. Seems to be good to be thankful to be able to pay a bill, gratitude. That's excellent. I love that, Darren. Yeah. Pretty much you're doing the same thing that I'm doing, except I just speak it and you write it. So very nice. I love that. All right, let me get some water. Oi. I guess I could do a few readings. Does anybody want to come up and do some readings with me since this is Casual Wednesday? Any readers out there? Have any takers? Anybody want to come up? Don't be shy now. You hear? Maybe you didn't get on the wrong train. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it was the right train. Thanks for that, Johnny. Hope you're well. Let me see what else I get here. That's what I'm getting right now from all of you, support. Support's important. They sure do. They sure do happen. Things do happen for a reason. I say that all the time. Who knows? Maybe there was something that I was being prevented uh, that was happening above ground that I didn't need to be a part of. So you never know. I always just I do my best to trust and believe. Hi, Wiki. Not a reader, just listening and cooking dinner. Well, thank you for listening. Yeah, support is, there's many different ways we can get support. And I think it's really important for everyone, whether that's support through a community, support through a loved one, support through, even if you're experiencing some type of crisis, it's always really important to find the right support for yourself. I am a huge advocate of seeking therapy. I did therapy for many, many years from the trauma that I had experienced. So it was important for me to receive that support. But as I got older, I realized that I needed something different. So working with different mentors and teachers, I found the right things that was needed for me to go deeper to do some of the work, some of the healing that I needed that I couldn't quite get through therapy. But regardless, I was always searching and looking to get support so that I can continue to grow. And you never give up on support. It's something that you always want to have. A lesson in patience. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I am forever being taught patience because it is not a strong suit for me. And I think that really came out in my trip last week. Oh my God. I have gotten better, but man, those lessons can kick my ass sometime, let me tell you. Kept you from something in a good way is my guess. Yeah. Yeah, you never know. Oh, kids are good teachers. All right. Hey, Miss Pat. How you doing? Yeah, default to frustrated. I really yeah, patience is well, I mean, one of the techniques that I used last week when I was super frustrated is, and it's so funny because I find the older that I'm getting, the more I talk out loud to myself. But I just, I have this conversation with myself and I'm like, okay, getting upset is not going to help you with this situation. It's not going to change it. Everything's still going to be the same. So the only thing I can change right now is me. How do I want to feel right now? And sometimes that means I might have to do some breathing, depending on where I am. If I'm home, that might mean a little glass of wine to kind of bring it down a little bit. Uh, there's so many different things that you can do, but I think the more that we all of us practice these things when we're in that place of feeling frustrated and annoyed, and be mindful too, as for everyone, while we're in this Mercury retrograde, communication gets all wonky. Keep that in mind. So if you happen to get into a tango with someone else, takes two to tango. Just walk away. Close it. This is what I'm doing with my daughter. Now that she's home, like yesterday, she started. And I was like, okay. And I just let it go. And then she just stopped. So someone can't go there with you if you don't take them, if you don't go there with them. Yeah. Got to be mindful of that. Be grateful all that you have and all that you don't have. I like that. Yeah, I like that, Johnny. Nice. Disengage. Yes, exactly. Everything does not need a response. Nope. It sure doesn't. It sure doesn't. And what's so funny about her, she's a fiery Aries. Oh my lord. She's a double Aries. I think her rising is Aries too. I don't know. She's double Aries, but I'm a Gemini. So it does not make sense for us to get into it with each other because both of us have to have the last word. Oh, and it's exhausting. What is this? I like to collect signs with words that might help me. Driven Aries, adopt the pace if nature. Her lesson is patience. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Very nice. Okay, let's see what else comes up here. Did I see a question? Did I miss something? Oh, I did. Can you read on? I was sleeping and woke up to a voice who said 11. Was that an angel? Possibly. Let me see. I'm not getting a direct yes or no. Let me see what I get here. Hey, Constance. Good to see you. Everyone, don't forget to hit that thumbs up while you're here. I always forget to say that. So, Nancy, it could have been this is what I got for you, a great teacher. Someone who's here, a teacher for you. Learn from spiritual experiences. Now, I know that 11 is... So 11 is connected with spiritual awakening. So it might have been a teacher coming to share with you some lessons of an awakening that you're having. Let me just pull a couple other cards on that for you. Let's see, what were you trying to share with Nancy? Oops. Hi, Kristen Louise. Okay. So, Nancy, I have the Page of Pentacles here for you. And I feel like this with the Queen of Cups, I feel like you're coming into something new, another awakening that is happening for you right now. Balance is going to be important. Okay, you have a teacher. I do feel like that was a teacher. So they're going to be working with you, providing you information as you start working with whatever's coming in for you. And I got the World as well. So this is a completion of a cycle. So I feel like something new is coming in for you. And they were just letting you know that hold on to your seatbelt. So that's the message I got for you there. It said the word 11. I do work with the angels for years. I mean, and the teacher could possibly be an angel. The message I'm getting is just a great teacher. So it possibly could be an angel. Hey, Debsy. My crazy Debsy. Love you to tons. You are so welcome. Yeah. So I'm going to throw this back out here. For those of you that are joining now, I was talking earlier about doing a group coaching session. Some of the ideas that I was thinking of was either on manifesting or stepping into your confidence or something on empowerment, which I guess confidence and empowerment are a little bit kind of go hand in hand. But I would love feedback on that, whether in the comments or in the chat there, of what resonates with you, or if there's something that I didn't mention that sounds like, oh, if you can talk on this or do a group coaching session on this. Yeah, it was a little chilly today for me. It was windy. That's what it was. It was windy here in Los Angeles, and I was cold. So I've been in this sweater mostly all day today. Yeah, I love that for you. That's great, Nancy. Yeah. Knowledge and awareness. Let me pull one more card with that. Oh, thank you, Johnny. Yeah. The thing about mindset coaching, tag Lisa, 90s there? Wow, you're warmer than LA. Man. Really, as we go through life, it's a lot of people that I've worked with, the clients that I've worked with, is people are stronger than what they think they are. And what I do and how I work is to help people look at things in a different way, because they've gotten so programmed to do things a certain way or to look at things a certain way. And when you're programmed, you set these limiting beliefs for yourself. And you start believing all these different things that you have set up. So, for instance, you may think like only rich people can get rich, or saying, well, I can't do that because I am not, I don't have the right, whatever to do this. All these different stories they create, let's say stories, they create these stories for themselves. So with coaching, what I do is we go in to determine what these stories are that they created and start disassembling them and help create the story that they want, because we are all grand creators of our life and we create the stories that we want to live. And I think one of the things, the turning point for me with my story, was when I got divorced. I remember feeling like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't survive, right? Because I was married for 16 years. And you get accustomed to being with someone and living this life. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was upset and I was sad and I was scared. And finally one day I said, I'm not going to live this story. And what helped me with that was one of my coaches, because I had shared with her and she said to me, don't be a victim. And that kind of shook me a little bit. I was like, huh? Don't be a victim. And she said, it's okay to be sad and it's okay to cry and go through everything that you're going through, but don't be a victim. And that stuck with me really hard. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to be a victim. I'm not even going to live this sad story. So even though my story was like right here, but I was living my life up here. And the story hung on there for a while as I'm living my life up here. Every once in a while, I may fall back down here, be a part of the story. Oh, woe is me, but then I jump back up here, living my life. And eventually that story disappeared. It dissipated because I wasn't living it. I created a whole new story for myself, and that's where I stayed. And I can elevate that whenever I want. So these are the things that I work with people to teach them, because it's a mindset. It depends on what you're thinking, how you're feeling, how do you want to be? And it's just breaking out of that old model to create a new one. Lisa, where is it? I've learned to embrace nap time. I used to fight it. There you go. Oh, you got our weather, Pat. You do. 77 degrees. Yeah. It's like Mother Earth is having hot flashes, or as I call them, power surges. I think she's trying to rebalance the heated up Earth. You know what? I would not be surprised. Yes, be a survivor. But you know what? Even that word, Joji, is a little loaded. Because if you think about it, a survivor means that you're just hanging on. You're still kind of hanging on there. You survived something and you're still hanging on. So you kind of want to go past that too, because it's easy to get into survival mode. Me being a person who suffered from trauma, my whole life I've been in survivor mode. And it's like because what survivor mode does is means that you're still ready. Like I was always ready to kind of not literally fight, but like, I had my defense mechanisms up because I was in survivor mode. I was like, I am not going to allow anybody else to hurt me again. So you kind of want to go past that. You want to be in a, there was a word for that. Maybe the word will come to me, but you want to go beyond that and to be in this more of a self-sufficient kind of mode. So survivor mode is kind of like the first step as I see it. And then you're going to go take it even further than that. Yeah, exactly. Fear requires feeding. What are you going to feed? You're going to feed the fear, or are you going to feed empowerment? Yeah. Yeah, warrior. Oh, I love the phoenix. I actually want to get a phoenix tattoo. I think that might be my next tattoo. I love that. Yes. Rising from the ashes. Ashes. A thriver. That wasn't the word, but that's another good one, Pat. It was a word. Yeah, I should go to you, Pat, my word person. It's going to come to me. I'm going to figure out what it was. Oh, the wounded healer. Interesting. We'll have to check that out. Yeah. See it as a war. You survived the event. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, for sure. Oh, look at that. I did a squirrel. I was like, what was I doing here? The knowledge and the awareness. They wanted me to pull a card here. Purity ice. Mm. Knowledge and awareness. And I feel like this has a lot to do with, I call them check ins, checking in with yourself. You know how, like, you would call somebody up, like, oh, I haven't heard from so and so in a while. Let me give them a call. How are they doing? It's like you do a check in with them. The question is, do you do a check in with yourself? Hey, Sonia, how you doing today? I don't know. I'm feeling okay, but I don't know. But okay, well, what's going on? Maybe not in that exact way, but it's a way of really finding out what's going on. I've had days where I'll be sitting, I'm like, I'm all cranky and I'm in a mood and I'm like, "Ugh, what is wrong?" And I'll start to check in and say, okay, what's going on right now? Did I have my coffee? Did someone say something in the meeting on my call for work that did something, and I'll start going back and to pinpoint what set me off or made me feel that way. And generally, I can pinpoint to what it is. And once I do, that's when I bring in the love for myself and say, it's okay. It's okay. So what? That person said that and that made you angry. You're all right. Let it go. Let it go. So once I'm able to release it, I feel better. But it's important to have those check ins. And that's what I feel like this purity ice card represents, checking in with yourself so that you can continue to move forward with your day. Being brave to face whatever fears you're experiencing, whatever you're going through, so that you can create that balance. You want to be able to balance and ride the wave, right? This is like a balancing act that she's doing here on the water. And then I call this card, this is the creation card, water card. To me, this always looks very cleansing and purifying. So as you can tell here, she is releasing, letting that water roll right off of her. And you see all the birds there. She feels free. So bringing that knowledge and that awareness to yourself so that you can do those check-ins to see what's going on. Oh, I have that book, Darren. I never read, oh, gosh, I want to read that book so bad. Women Who Run with Wolves. Yeah. She talks about making a scar coat. This book is like my Bible. Takes a while to read, but excellent stories. It is a great book. I have it and I started reading it and I haven't been able to get back to it, but I want to. It's a really good book. Thank you for putting that out there. Oh, after the Columbine school shootings. Okay. Yeah. If you still wanted a guest, I volunteer. Oh, yay. Yes, I do. Let me send you the link. Hold on. Da, da, da. Oh, yank this earring right out my ear. I got so used to earrings being yanked out of my ear because my daughter, when she was a baby, would take my earrings and yank them. So I got used to them. The only thing I did not get, one day she got a hold of my nose ring. When you do that silent cry, you're like, yeah, that's what I did. Let's see. Uh, 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 uh. You know what? I'm gonna make this easy on myself. Johnny, I'm gonna put it right here in the chat. There you go. And then I'll take it down once you're in. Hey, Arlene, good to see you. Oh, Joe G's read them. I miss the days when I had tons of time to read. I'm enrolled in all these classes that I'm taking, and I'm taking 3 classes right now, plus working, plus my other job, plus working, doing my services, and I can't even keep up with myself. Yeah. There says I only wear studs because preschool kids would probably grab my ears, and yeah, it hurts. Hello there. You're on mute.
Yes, I am.
There you are.
Oh, user error, not Mercury. I can't blame Mercury just yet.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We can take it. Go ahead and say blame it on Mercury. How you doing?
I was cooking, so I was watching.
What you over there cooking?
Spaghetti, actually.
Oh, that sounds good. I haven't had spaghetti in a minute.
I made a mess, so it's all right now. So I'll do that later.
What are you saying, Debsy? I'm fighting the urge to say something Lisa would about you being busy. Debsy, girl, I can't with you. You are too much. All right, guys, if anybody's had any questions, go on and put them in. Deb says, ooh, Johnny spaghetti. Oh, and then that's what Wiki was. I guess tonight's a spaghetti night for everybody. And that's so funny because my daughter was actually wanting to make spaghetti, but I didn't have any, so she made a different kind of pasta.
I didn't have any either. I went to the store. It was 5,000 degrees outside, but I went anyway.
How are all you guys getting all the hot weather? And I'm in California and it's cold.
I wish. It was cold. It was cold for way longer than I thought it would be, seeing how it's May. But because we had snow in April, and then all of a sudden, as you said, the power surge, and Mother Nature brought out the Shaka Khan fan, and it was over with. Next thing you know, it's hot.
Wow.
Well, I shouldn't say that. It was warm, because hot is on the way.
Yeah.
It was warm. It was warmer than it needed to be.
Man. Now, Johnny, your birthday, is it this month or next month?
It is on the 24th of this month.
The 24th. Okay. And I'm the 31st.
Well, happy early birthday.
Same to you.
We will, I'll be live that day, and we'll have discussions and things. So we're not going to do any readings. It'll just be discussions.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I did a live on my birthday last year, and I think we went for 6 hours.
It's easy to do.
Yeah. We were having so much fun. Well, I wasn't monetized. I was like, shoot. So we were playing music and we were partying. That's right, Tracy, Gemini Tribe.
People often ask, how do you go live for 3 and 4 hours? It's easy to do.
Yeah. Once you're in that zone, then. Hey, Rose, good to see you.
Okay, nobody out talk a Gemini, so we can do it.
Right?
We can do it.
Rose, I love that name. That's my daughter's name. Yeah, Lisa's like it. It was fabulous. Lisa was on there with me, and the longest, but we did 11 hours. That's the longest.
That's my longest. Was 11 hours.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe we did that, but that was fun. I don't know what I'm going to do this year.
Have people in the chat. I went to sleep and woke up, and you're still alive.
Oh, it's awesome. Guys, I guess they're just like listening. Nobody has any questions. Unless Johnny, you have something you. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry, Arlene. I didn't even see your question. I got you. I got you. All right. So, what does Spirit want me to know? Deb Z says Johnny's all nighters were fun. Watch a little, nap a little, wake up and chat a little. Hey, Clarence.
Well, I can't see the chat. Wait, here. Okay. Spirit wants you to know. Should have had an oracle card too.
Spirit. So, Arlene, what I'm hearing is to be more open. Be more open to change. Be more flexible when it comes to things like kind of like what we talked about tonight. Not to go against the grain and just to kind of go with the flow. Has there been something that you've been kind of pushing against that you need to maybe let go and just allow? Surrender? I'm going to pull a few cards for you.
There is a period of inner happiness that you need to find here. There is also, to sort of piggyback on the going against the grain, you may have to find your own path and go with that, but be okay with having to do it on your own. Go with that flow. Don't push so much against it. The High Priestess is modeled.
I had to laugh right when you said that.
There's the flow that you need to go with. The High Priestess is a bit of a rebel type card. She's modeled after Mother Mary, but this veil back here is the story of Persephone, who ate of the pomegranate seeds to gain knowledge, kind of like Adam and Eve eating of the forbidden fruit to gain knowledge that was only for God to have. So this may require you to sort of go it alone, because I get the Lover's card here, but it's not surrounded by the greatest of things. And so with the 10 of Swords and 5 of Swords, there may be a way everybody else is going, but you can't seem to go that way. But it's not a bad thing. It's only seeming like it is a bad thing because you don't want to go with that flow. And so whatever the straight and narrow ear here is with the Justice card, go against that. Leave that path to someone else. You're going to find your own adventures. You're going to find your own wisdom. The Page of Wands is an ambitious card. So you're going to find your own wisdom, but you do need to stray off of the path that everyone else is on and go with the flow. Something's pulling you that way anyway. And so just go with it. Go with it and see where it leads you. And then find the wisdom you need along that journey, because that journey is filled with things that are for you. And so that's where you need to go, I think.
Okay. So, yes, I have the Standstill card here for you. So for this, for me, it says to really determine what it is that you need to do to achieve your happiness. So going within and figuring out, where am I right now and where do I want to go? How am I going to get there to achieve that happiness? And there's some cleansing that needs to happen. I have the purification card, some things that need to be released and let go. And once you do that, you will find yourself being in that flow, moving towards that flow. And that's going to open you up to more abundance in your life. So that's the message that I have there for you.
It's hard to do.
It's not easy. It sure isn't. And she said something about, where'd it go? Just the X's. We're talking about X's as an X. partners?
Because if you are, that's not what Spirit wanted you to know.
Those exes, whew, girl.
Because you did get the Lover's card and the Ten of Swords, so I guess that's there you go.
Yeah.
Leave that in the dirt.
You're welcome, Marlene. I know they have a way of pulling you back in. That's for sure. We're not going to go down my road. Yes, husbands. Okay, ex-husbands. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's about finding what's going to make you happy and finding your path and moving towards on that, moving forward, going with that flow. So, blessings to you on that.
Like I say, it is difficult, especially when you go one way for so long and all of a sudden life says, okay, left turn, and you think, well, I wasn't really ready for that. Or maybe I didn't want to take left. Maybe I want to take right. I want to be the this and this, but go with the flow. Something is waiting for you to arrive. So you need to go in that direction. The harder you fight it, the longer it takes.
So true. Hey, Spirit Beyond the Stars. Okay. Wiki. Any messages for me from Spirit? Every time I see Wiki's name, I'm like, Wiki, 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 Wiki. Wiki, 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 Wiki. Where's my other? Wiki, you live in Hawaii. You can't have any stresses or anything. You're not allowed to. Hello, Barb's Wheel of Fortune.
Limitations and traditions are holding you back from something. So there might be a way people may want you to do a certain thing or want you to do a certain thing a certain way. Again, with that flow, I guess this is the it's so interesting though. I mean, when you get messages from Spirit, and this is probably why you didn't get on the wrong train. And everybody is now needing to learn, especially with retrograde, peeking its ugly head. There's a flow that you just need to go with it, because it's going to be harder if you don't. But there is a tradition here with the Ten of Cups, and it's accompanied with the Tower. You need to break this tradition, or break the way people have always done things, or maybe it's just one of those pathology type things to where my mother, my father, my whoever did it this way, because there's a limitation to your power, to your actual potential with the Magician. The Magician is the card that can, not the card that's necessarily doing it right now, but they can, but you are limiting yourself. There's a whole lot of things that just seem like dreams to other people. Like it's a bit shallow, or you can't do that, or like always say you're 4'5", 500 pounds, you want to be a ballerina. You do you. Can't nobody tell you what not to do. Maybe you just need to dance in a different way. So there are some dreams that some people around you may be thinking that this is a little too pie in the sky, but that is limiting. Break free from that.
Yep. I'm going to just tag on that. I got the transformation card for you. Yesterday doesn't fit you anymore. So, and with that, I got empower yourself to change your narrative. So as I was talking about earlier about that story, what story are you telling yourself? You really want to start changing that narrative to a story that fits you, a story that feels good to you. I also got the social gathering networking card. So what I'm feeling with this is the garden card, card of networking with the heart here, desire consciousness. finding spaces and places that feel right for you, that is going to help you, to help that story, help you change your narrative. This may be groups or possibly okay. What they're telling me is like, who is your circle? Who are your people? Okay, it's important to have the right people with the heart here. Um, the communications that you're doing with your network. Okay. Take a good look at your network. This is for everybody too, because you want the right people in your circle, the right people that are going to support you with your transformation of the changes that you're making in your life, people that are going to uplift you and take you into that direction. And I pulled the snake here, shedding that old skin, releasing what's not serving you, and really stepping into that space of who you are. So, again, what story are you telling yourself? Make sure you're creating a good story for you. That's the message for you.
That's what the magician does. Create your own story.
Mm-hmm.
I just seen a meme too. Someone posted on YouTube. Everybody in your circle is not in your corner. So make sure that you have the right people around you. So we're not really that unique. We just sometimes the people that think like us are spread out. And so it's hard to find that instant connection, but find your right circle.
Yeah. And as I always tell people, I tell my daughter this all the time, you know, your inner circle, like I have a lot of friends, right? But a lot of my friends serve different things in my life. So there's like my really close circle. Those are the people that I know that have my back and are there for me. And then there might be another layer to that circle, right? We step out a little bit further. This group here, they're kind of like maybe just people that I will still do things with, but I may not share with them like the most intimate things about me. And then there's a further circle of those that are just kind of maybe associates. I hang out with every once in a while, we're just having a good time. And so whatever way you want to label it, it doesn't matter. You don't even have to label it, but just knowing that be mindful of who is in that real inner circle, because those are the people that are really there for you and have your back. And that's what you want to surround. We're not saying like, okay, go and get rid of all your friends.
But I give the analogy always of the tree, that there's the leaves, they come for a season. They're not bad, but they're not here all the time. And there's the branches. Those are the people that hold on. Storm gets a little stronger. Maybe they break or snap off or go other ways. But then there's the roots, the one who feeds the tree and makes sure it stays strong. Yes. Some people are just not roots. Some people are the branches, and they'll be there forever until, all of the crap hits the fan or something in their life changes or whatever. And some are just leaves. We can hang out, and then you fall away.
That's a great analogy. I like that. Hey, Eleanor, good to see you. All right. I'm trying to see any other questions come in here. What's this? I didn't delete the link. Oh, thank you, Deb. I'm like, huh? Thank you, Deb. Any other questions? Go on and put them in. Goodness, where did I put that link? No. That's so funny. I can't even find it now. If we have somebody else pop in here, we know what happened. Oh, that's weird that I can't find this. While I'm looking for this, let me know if you see any other questions that come in there, Johnny. Or, if you guys, it doesn't even have to be a personal question. If you have something fun or interesting to read. What does it? I was on Aiden Learns Tarot. I was on his channel last night, and we got quite. It was so funny. It kind of reminded me of Sierra's silly questions, because we got someone asked what the ice cream flavor was going to be for this year. It's like, what? I mean, we just got some of the wackiest questions, but it was fun to read on that. And we both got cards that had all this green in it. So we were like, okay, it's going to be a green flavor. And,
I need to go back and
I don't know where that link went.
You got one question there.
Okay.
I need to go back and finish it. I was watching up until when y'all started doing the reads, and then that's when I went to the store. But okay. That's why I was seeing about your not life coaching, because I actually like that you don't call it life coaching instead of mindset coaching.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah, that it just, because it boils my blood. I remember once I was on the plane, and this guy got off the phone or something. He's like, "Oh, my life coach," or something, and this girl's like, "Oh, life coaches," and she went on this whole rant, and I'm like, "Oh, it's gotten such a bad rap." And I mean, in out in California, I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of people that throw that term around so loosely. And
I met a person that they're a life coach, or said they were a life coach, or they do life coaching and motivational speaking and things of that nature. And I think I just wouldn't go to you for nothing. It's just Yeah. If I gave you my ID and asked you what my name was, you would tell me something different. Like, I don't it's just
Well, the other thing too, I don't like it, is that some people, I'm not blasting all life coaches. There are some really good ones out there. So, my thing I tell people always is make sure that you connect. And that's another thing too. I don't work with just anybody. It has to go both ways. So I always do like a free session where we can kind of talk about the different things. What is it that you're trying to, strive for? What is it that you want? Because I want to make sure I'm the right fit for you, and, vice versa with that other person. So, and provide the tools, because it's not a thing to set up where you have to come seeing me over and over and over and over again. People are trying to set up people for life. This is not a life thing. This is a thing of you tapping into your inner power so that you have the tools now to go and make the changes that are necessary for your life. Sometimes we just get in our own way and we can't see.
Mindset.
So, yeah. Mindset. That's how that came about. Okay, so
there was 2 questions I saw.
Yeah, I got Tracy here. Eleanor has a question, and Spirits Beyond the Stars, and Pat. Okay, there we go. So Tracy wants to know what should I be focusing on?
Spell out. Mindset is kind of with the Knight of Swords. It's erratic. It goes too fast to control. I got another one. 3 of Wands. Okay. Debsy, that is not a question, madam.
These pants make my butt look big. Let me see. Hold on. Girl, yes. Take them off. No, but nothing wrong with the big butt, girl. Go on and do you.
People pay for them, so yes. Gratitude. Were we not talking about gratitude earlier?
No. Yeah.
Focusing.
Cracking me up how earlier everything talked about is falling into these readings, because Tracy, what I got for you is to surrender. And this says, release the false narrative and take back your wings. So what story are you telling yourself? Okay. Focus on releasing any stories that are holding you back from moving forward of what you need to be doing. Because I feel like that you're working on becoming more centered and balanced, finding that anchor so you can be grounded. Once you release these stories, you're going to start bringing in more abundance, aligning with what it is that you want. And I have the stars. This is direction and guidance and being led into the right direction. But you got to allow yourself to surrender, to let go.
That's what I get. The world, completion, the big picture as well. The Six of Swords is the transition. It is a bit of a rough one, though. They're never really easy because you have to come out of the stormy sea into the calmer water. You do also carry baggage. As I always chuckle at this card because they're in a boat with swords poking into the boat. Maybe not the greatest of decisions when you're trying to transition, but this is us. We carry baggage. Also, drown out the noise. The people who may seem that they know everything or have all the answers or telling you what to do, move in the right direction, you have to go in your own direction. Abandonment is not always a bad thing, especially when this doesn't serve you. You have to go on to the new horizon with the Eight of Cups. So drown out the noise, whatever it is that's being trumpeted to you, because they don't really have your best interest at heart. You do need to make a decision on what direction to move to, back to the flow thing. Drown out the noise, go your own path. Focus on your own recovery, focus on your own mental health, your emotional health, your energetic health, that type of thing. Because that's what's important. We have to stop and learn to take care of ourselves. Sometimes people may think, oh, that's selfish and you're not thinking about anybody else. That's because sometimes you're not supposed to.
Yep.
Because if you can't get up, you can't take care of the world. So
ain't that the truth? So true. Yeah. All right. She says, awesome. Thank you, Johnny. You're welcome, Tracy. Hey, J Rock and Mama Bear. Good to see you. And Debsy's over here singing, I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Cost you 10 grand at any plastic surgeon.
Right? But now they have those underwear and stuff like too that are padded. You're welcome, Tracy. All right. So Eleanor wants a message from her dad.
Okay, there's a lot of love in the family, he's saying, or there's a lot of love for the family here. With the family card here, deep-seated love and connection. But don't worry so much about him, because he's fine. He says here, there is some sort of worry around, or worry about not hearing the voice. You can connect with him. Everybody's not a medium, I guess they should say, but you can connect. That energy signature belongs to you, doesn't belong to nobody else. So you can connect, is what that is saying there too. Fond memories, a lot of them that he has here with the child card and the strength. Because the reason this is coming up is there's a message coming to you. I don't know if it comes in the form of a sign, like if you see a particular bird, or if you see a particular, like there's a pocket watch that has a thing on it, and there's like something, little small thing like that that's going to trigger a memory, but it's not just a memory, it's a sign as well. Don't fight with, I don't know if you have two sisters or three sisters or two other women close to you, especially if they're at work or something where you have to be burdened by the company of the people. But don't fight. Don't, especially with retrograde coming up.
Mm.
Don't fight. Don't argue. Don't bicker.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it time. It'll smooth over because it's right now just an energetic thing and not something that needs to be hashed out. Also, don't get paralyzed by decisions you have to make here with the 2 of Swords, 10 of Swords, 6 of Swords, because what happens when you become paralyzed by decisions is life still goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't take part in the decisions, then it happens to you. So make sure that you don't get paralyzed by the decisions you have to make. And that's what I get.
That's so funny. I've got decisions cards too. Okay. I tried tapping in with your dad, but quite honestly, I'm like super tired. So I can't. But I do sense his love for you. I also, I pulled a feel of my, these are talking to heaven cards. And he says, life is a series of choices. Choose love. So he really wants you to tap into that love, not only the love for yourself, but the love for others, and making sure that you, as Johnny was just talking about earlier, about taking care of self first. It's important for you to take care of yourself. This is just to say that he's around. As a soul, I can be in several places at once. And he's met you in your dreams. We have been together in dreams. So the cup of the message that's coming through, though, is that feel like that you're confused about the cycle that you're in right now. There's some clouds, some things that may be unclear that is happening. But to bring in the light where the obstacles lie, to bring in that sun, okay, to bring in that light, not allow yourself to get so hung up on a lot of things. Things could be a challenge. The base of this card, I had to pull it because Johnny was talking about decisions, and I got the pathways card and the moon, and there's a lot of emotions around that. So being really mindful about your emotions and how you're feeling, and not allow it to drag you under. Bring in that light, bring in that sun, and true with communications, be very mindful of how you interact with people and dealing with people as we're in this retrograde time. And that's for everyone, because it can get things can get misconstrued, and the intensity is stronger of all this energy that's happening. So being mindful of that. So really, all together, just remember that sun, that light. That's the message. So blessings to you, Eleanor. Okay, Spirit Beyond the Stars. Will they pass the law for more Oklahoma to have chickens in their backyard? Ooh. I had a neighbor here in Los Angeles. She lived over Hancock Park, is like a really upscale area in LA. And she went against all the odds. She had chickens in her backyard.
Why can't you?
I think I don't know the laws or anything, but I know that she was getting in trouble because I know some parts of LA people have chickens. So I think it was just the area that she was in. But they made a lot of noise too. So
yeah,
it didn't make the neighbors very happy.
I mean, so do dogs and kids.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, I got some neighbors. I like to on out of here. Look, I'm sure some of them want to toss my butt out. There's been nights when I'm sitting here, and as my daughter says, you don't laugh, you like cackle. And I'm like,
well, yes. Because my soul is happy too. We laugh
together.
Exactly. So it's extra loud.
I just get happy. That's all.
Well, they passed the
law. Okay, well, they passed.
Because in Florida, my friend, she had chickens. She had a bunch of them. They look big.
Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Debsy, why are you trying to call me out like that? Like, I'm drunk. I call it happy. Mm-hmm. It's not drunk.
It's called tolerance juice.
Yeah, tolerance juice. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were saying about your friend.
That's it. No, I got whoever here. This is probably Stitt. He's the governor of Oklahoma. More Oklahoma's got like 5 people in. If you put chickens in there, who's going to tell? So, I mean, it's not like Oklahoma City where there's 8 people. It's just, I don't know. I get there's something erratic about it that decisions are not made. You need some pull. You need somebody with some greasing the palms type thing. But no, it's not. I don't think. I mean, if it's, I don't know. It's, there's a law. I don't know if it's still on the books, but there's a law in Oklahoma where you cannot go to the lake. Mind you, the lake is man-made. You cannot go to the lake and fish for whales because that's a thing somewhere, apparently, where people put a fishing rod in any body of water and think they're going to catch a whale. I mean, they're the size of
whale in the lake. I'm like,
this
wait a minute.
Oklahoma, so why can't I have a chicken in my backyard? Mindset.
Right? All right, let me see here.
That's Oklahoma for you.
Okay. Oh my gosh, come on, cards. I had like 10 cards fall out. I'm like, no thanks. I just need a couple, please.
If you're in purchase, city limits. Okay, so you can get one in Oklahoma City, just not in Moore. What's the difference?
They don't want you to, if you purchase a city. Okay. Oh my God. So, yeah, I don't know. So I have the moon and the 3 of cups. So I feel like they're, the collaboration, but there's a lot of emotions around making this decision. And then I have the 2 of wands and the 10 of pentacles. This feels like a very traditional kind of town. They're used to their ways or things being a certain way. The 2 of wands, trying to make that decision. And I have the 10 of wands, which is a burden. And with the king of wands. So there's someone that's a visionary that wants to kind of break through this and make this happen. On the base of my deck, I have the 9 of swords. A lot of anxiety, worry. So still not fully a clear answer. I'm just curious to see what my pendulum says on this.
Buy you a whale. Okay, all right.
Oh, the law change. The head chickens in the backyard. So my pendulum's saying no. So I'm not sure. But you know what I say? Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Joan, this is my beauty tarot. I got this off of Etsy. This is the person's.
I found it before. If you just type in beauty tarot, it'll pop up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, type in beauty tarot in Etsy, and she has a whole collection of cards. They're really nice. They're pricey though. I'm gonna tell you, it's an investment. Her cards are a little pricey. Let's see. She says. More Oklahoma has grown tremendously. More Oklahoma is not small. No more. It's huge to compare to the way it was before. Okay. Well, hopefully it'll change. I think it's really going to have to bring that person, that visionary, that person that is, it will be the key to help change things around there.
Because it's going to come back up. I mean, it's too much land, too much farmland, too much people who raise chickens and raise small animals, like in their own homes. So it's going to change, I believe, just not now.
She says in Gainesville, Georgia, there's an ordinance that states that you must eat chicken with your fingers, not allowed to use a fork. What? I mean, I wouldn't have a problem, but I'm just saying, like, what?
Oh, no funny. Picnics for you. Got to bring the whole house with you.
Wow. Miss Pat. Oh, I have a question. Okay. How wonderful is it to have? Oh, well, what's your question?
When is your book coming out?
Ah, that's the question. That is the question.
I have the Edgar Allan Poe tarot, Darren. It's lost. Well, the images are kind of lost on me because I've never actually read Edgar Allan Poe. But I bought it just because.
That looks really cool.
It does.
I loved Edgar Allan Poe back in school. We used to do that all the time. I was about to see. Oh, so Eleanor's asking about hurricanes for Florida this year. So, it's interesting. I read on hurricanes last night, Eleanor, when I was on Aiden's channel. I'm going to see what Johnny pulls on that, and then I can tell you what I saw.
Okay. I from time to time, I can do a weather reading, but most of the time, I can still do it. I just don't trust it because I feel like I'm making it up. Because it's like it's weather. It's going to happen. It's like, is there going to be a tornado in Oklahoma? You mean in Tornado Valley? Yes, there's going to be a tornado.
Yeah.
Florida hangs off the side of the country. It's going to get a hurricane, but not always. Sometimes they're just tropical storms by the time they hit landfall. But let's see. Hurricane in Florida.
Okay, Pat. Yeah, her question is about her book.
Yes, just to narrow it down, but I wouldn't fear it. Do be cautious. Again, I am not a meteorologist, so I ain't here to tell you what to do. But there's something typical about it. The Chariot is plans and trying to get everything on the same page. The Seven of Pentacles is something that is rooted, deep-seated type thing. So it's kind of like this is something that happens because you're in that zone, in that area. So it's something that you can expect, though. Hurricanes are not like earthquakes. They don't just come out of nowhere. So you can see this coming. But here with the Five of Wands and the Nine of Swords, don't fear it. Don't go crazy. Don't go mental because you hear wind and water's coming. Again, you can see it ahead of time, so you know how to take precautions and things of that nature. But I do get the Ace of Pentacles, like there is something, but it might be tropical storm by the time it hits Florida, because this is like Category 1 rainstorm. So don't freak out, but it might be Category 1 or tropical storm by the time it hits Florida. So I said yes, I'm going to change it to no.
Well, it was interesting. The reading that we did last night wasn't specifically towards Florida. It was just as the U.S. as a whole, what did we see? And the insight that I had was I felt like there was going to be two major hurricanes. I mean, there may be more, but there was two that were really going to stand out. That could be Florida. That could be anywhere along the east. It could be down in the Caribbean. I didn't narrow it down to exactly where that was going to take place, but that's the sense that I got. So that's why I want to see what you got with that.
I think South Texas, like that in that Gulf area. Mm-hmm. I think there's one there for sure. But I mean, we live on a planet that's heating, and so as it turns, they're going to get stronger because that's what happens to hot water. It just it's volatile.
Said this last night. I'm gonna say it again. If you live in an area that has crazy stuff that goes down, like I'm in earthquake central, be prepared. Make
Mm-hmm.
sure all your stuff is up to speed, all your kits and whatever you need to do for your area. Make
Yeah.
sure you have it, that you're
And
ready.
Oklahoma actually is, I think, leading the country in earthquakes right now.
Oklahoma, really?
Yes. When I was there, according to the Google's machines, when I was there, they had 791 in 1 year. In 1 year. Not 10 years, 1 year. 791. Now, mind you, they weren't like, off the Richter scale or nothing, but they would shake for a little bit and you'd stop. And they'd freaked people out because this is Oklahoma. They might have 3 in an entire year that you can actually feel. No, they shot up to 791 because of the fracking. And so,
Wow.
Congratulations, Oklahoma. You're number 1.
Yeah, really. Look, I just found out Oklahoma has a clown town that they were talking about. I was like, what?
Really?
Yes, there's a clown town. That's what Aiden was saying. I was like, I had never heard of that. That is so interesting.
I haven't either.
Okay,
I
Oklahoma.
don't think I want to go, though. But.
All right, back to Pat. So Pat's book. So Pat, are we asking what about your book? Yeah, Clown Town, Joan. I said, yeah, that's where they need to send 45 to Clown Town.
He'd be the mayor.
Bring all his friends and buddies, all the rest of the town too. Sheesh. Lisa's like, I frown upon Clown Town.
The last earthquake they had was May the 8th. That was 3 days ago.
Wow. Well,
2.9
they got us
deal.
Look, I'm not fussing. I am not complaining. It's interesting. Since I've lived here, I moved here right after the big Northridge earthquake. So was that like 93 or something like that? And LA was pretty much, so many people moved out. So when I moved in, I was able to get all these deals on apartments, and they were begging people to come live here because there was this mass exodus. And since then, I felt some really big shakes, but nothing too crazy. Things are still standing, thank God, knock on wood. Got this big wood table, so that's the first place. Getting right underneath this table. Okay, so any messages about her book? All right.
Now, for clarification, is this the book you told me about the 50 words?
Deb says, I had a friend years ago that was deathly afraid of clowns. He was so fun to prank, almost made him pee himself a time or two. Girl, you do the same thing I do. Okay, I got to tell you guys this story. It's hilarious. We had this, so we're big, I used to be a big Halloween person. And we had, it was almost like a clown, but it was dressed up in a doctor suit, and this thing, the eyes would light up, and the knife, and it goes like this. And it would go like this. And it was taller than I was. So my ex-husband, he loves stuff, but he gets scared of stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, I got to get him. I love scaring people. I grew up in a house where I was tortured by my brother and my dad. So I don't have we just did crazy stuff to each other. So I hid this thing in his closet. So he came home from work. He opened up the door, and the thing's going, and all he just went, ugh.
So scared you can't even react.
He couldn't scream, he couldn't move, he couldn't breathe. He was just like defeated. He was just like, ugh. He's like, what are you trying to kill me? Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, and my daughter's so easy. Oh my gosh, she's so easy. She could just like walk out. I thought she heard me. She could just walk out right here, and I go boo, and she's like, ah! And I'm like, really? Like, where is your backbone.
That's my niece. I mean, you just anything. And she's clumsy at the same time. So if you scare her, she's going to fall. So it's like you better drink your milk now because
Oh, that's too funny. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, Pat the Sun was the first card that popped out, so it looks good. She says Tula laid down her gun.
Well, where's the 50-word story? Did I miss that one?
Let me see. Did I miss when I was talking? Oh, it's about the novella, the one I have already written and going to self-publish. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. This is it, Jesus moment. Like Sanford. What was his wife's name?
Elizabeth.
Like, Elizabeth, I'm coming. That's the big one. I'm coming.
Okay. Is there a woman that you are working with or possibly working with? She might be just watch out for some woman who is not on the same page as you.
I was like, oh, there's a card turned over in my deck. Let me turn it back over, and looks what it is. It's the fox.
See, your little false friend. So it's just
caution, a trickster.
Yeah, beware, because I got this, and I'm like, okay, who is this? Clarified, and just I got another woman, so it's a woman. there is some woman there that's with the Page of Swords. That would be your spy, your liar, your manipulator, your cheat, 10 of Swords type thing. So just beware. I hate to even say things like that because the Queen of Wands is who? It doesn't say Mary at the bottom of it. Don't say Tino, like so. But just beware. Queen of Wands is a Leo. If you want to go around and ask everybody if they're what their sign is. But there is strength with the book, though. With the Page of Pentacles, there's the book, and then you have strength. Strength is also a new approach to something. I'm not saying you're going to be New York Times bestseller, but I am saying that there is strength around it. This is also something where this is going to spark another idea. That's something you may have already had, but you may need to put something on the back burner in order to get it done. But a lot of hope, grand transformations, that type of thing. Just beware of who's lurking in the shadow type thing. I will say the Queen of Wands seems very sweet, personable, straightforward, and honest. For this is the only queen that actually faces you. But she has an agenda of some sort. But everything is going to work out in the end. I hate to say it that way because this sometimes makes people not take actions that they should take. And so therefore their reading changes. Just be vigilant with the Temperance because it takes a lot of work for Temperance to actually, because you see the path back here. You have to go up the path and through the mountains in order to get to the sun, to the success. So you still have a journey to walk. You still have things that you need to be diligent about, but you're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. Be open to other ideas as well. Something is coming in, crown chakra. So something is coming in for you. Just be open to that, whatever it is, even if it's something outside of your norm. So if you've never written about giraffes and aliens before, do it. So whatever it is that comes to you, just accept it and beware.
And she says, just so you know, that she's still working on 50 words.
Okay.
So Pat, the first card that came out was the Sun, a card of success. And I also got peace and harmony with that. So as far as the book is concerned, I think it will do really well. The things that you need to focus on is for you to empower yourself to change your narrative. Any doubts or fears or anything that comes up for you that is not going to help push you forward towards these two things, you want to change the narrative of that story. I see it is a distance here. This is the distance card and adventure. Like, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Don't get so caught up in a lot of the things. Make it, it is hard work, as you already know, that you have to put in the effort, put in that work. But like you already saw, that fox popped out. So just be aware, be mindful. And then I pulled one more card because I was curious to see, and it says, just breathe, relax, just breathe.
Temperance is moderation. Don't rush yourself.
Yeah. What was it? That turtle won the race, right? Because it took its time, but it got there and it won. So keep us posted on how that goes for you. Excited. Yeah, I was reading some of these stories in here where you're welcome, Pat. Our fellow Gemini sister. Another Gemini. Where was that? Darren wrote, it was funny. Darren says, we were crossing through a cemetery with a bunch of friends in October afternoon. My brother ran ahead and jumped out from behind a large tombstone, scared me big time. See, now that's something I would do.
That's something that would lead to one of us being arrested and the other one picking out a plot. I don't like I don't go past cemeteries. When we drive past them, I turn my head.
Cemeteries.
I can't do it.
I love cemeteries, old churches. What else do I love? All right, let me tell you guys my cemetery story. I got a good cemetery story. My daughter and I, if she chooses to step into her gifts, she's that kid. Whew. But we went into a cemetery, and there was this one plot that we came across, and it was a young girl, and she was buried with her family. And it was very interesting because immediately I picked up on her energy, and I was sensing something about cars from one of her brothers that was there. But she was really young. That's what intrigued us about her, because she was probably about 13 years old, I think, when she died. So we started walking, and my daughter, felt, she's like, oh, I could feel her. She's still here with me. Because at first I felt her, and then I was like, okay. So we had ended up going back to her tombstone, and I could see her. And I asked my daughter, I said, can you see her? And I started describing her, because my daughter said, well, she has dark hair. And all of a sudden she's like, she pulled her hair. And what she was trying to tell her, she pulled it from the root to tell her, no, her hair was darker like hers, because that's what I had saw. The craziest thing about this story is, my little Gen Zer in there, she got back. She's like, okay, let me Google, let me find out about this girl, and da-da-da-da. So the cars that I had felt with the brother, he was a mechanic. And then with her, what was strange, she even found a picture of her. Why did this girl look like my grandmother who passed? I put their pictures together, and I was like, whoa, it was so uncanny. But it was super. See, I love cemeteries. I'm a weirdo. Like, I used to be a horror freak, so
see,
that's why I like scaring people and doing things. I'm terrible.
My rule is, look here, you can walk around the house all you want to. Don't touch me.
Yeah. No, I had to establish that boundary. We don't do the touching game. No touching.
Don't pull my hair. Don't. But then again, they do it anyway, because I've never been harmed or anything. But you always get I'm like, I would rather hear than you, because I don't want the touch out of nowhere type thing, because I don't see you.
Hi, Tracy.
I'd rather hear you. I'm fine with the hearing.
Well, it all depends. Okay, so why are we echoing all of a sudden? That was weird. I think it stopped. So I did get one weird thing. I was laying down. I had surgery, and I was laying down in her room. This girl, she's seen, heard all kinds of spirits and things ever since she was little. But it was the first time that something came in like radio. And I had it's like literally someone was right here, and I hear, wake up! That scream. I jumped out of my skin. I'm like, what the? And so I sat there for a few minutes, and I convinced myself that I was dreaming. I was like, okay, you were dreaming. You're okay. I went back to sleep, didn't think anything of it. Weeks later, she went back to her room. And one day she said to me, so tired. This man, he's driving me crazy. I'm like, what are you talking about? This guy, he's in my room and he keeps yelling at me and telling me to wake up. And I went,
See.
So I didn't tell her because I didn't want her to freak out. But months later, after we knew that he was gone, I told her, I said, oh, yeah, remember that guy? Well, yeah, he did it to me too.
My brother had apartments where if you lay, because nobody went in his room to sleep, if you laid in the room, they'd lay on top of you. Whoever you were, if you went in that bed, you laid in that room, they'd lay on top of you. And there's panting in the ear too, because they had a dog or something. Because one of the his roommate got scratched one time and didn't know where it was from. Like, I get a scratch just from it must have been a dog or something. He said he heard panting, so I don't know what it was, but whatever, whoever went in there, they laid right on top of your chest. I'm like, yeah, I take a pass. They were like, you want to go? Nope. That's not an attraction. It's like, like, here's the haunted room. Do you want to sleep in it? No, I don't.
The room. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, no, the first time when I really opened up to doing mediumship, I remember that night, it was like the floodgates open and I just started having all these different spirits come and I didn't know how to turn it off or how to work with it or anything. And I remember going to bed that night and literally somebody was tapping my foot. And I said, you know what? If I hadn't had, because I've had incidents before with spirits, and I was just like, we're not doing this right now. I'm going to bed. Leave me alone. I'm like, I'm done. And it stopped, and they left me alone. But now I'm good at closing my gate and not allowing people to come in. And it's something that you work with it. But you got to set those boundaries for sure.
I get the wind in the ear when it wants me to wake up. Like it'll do that in the ear, and I wake up. I recognize it now, so it doesn't freak me out or nothing. Because it wants me, and I'll go straight to the telephone because it's always somebody that needs something. Every time it does it, every single time. And so it's like, okay, because I'll sleep, until Jesus come back if you let me. So they'll wake me up. It's like, here you go. Get up because there's something you need to do, and then I'll, we'll be fine. Only time it ever startled me is I heard my name out loud, and there's nobody in the room, and it was my government name because it wasn't a nickname, and so no, I heard Johnny out loud, and I woke right up, like eyes just super wide. What the hell was that? Because there's nobody in the room, let alone there's nobody in the house. So where does this voice come from? So that one kind of took me back a little bit because I was never used to that. Always got the wind in the ear type thing.
Wow, that is so crazy. Yeah. J Rock says, I'm curious and slightly terrified to have one of those experiences. So curious though. Excuse me, I don't think it's something that you ever get used to per se, because it's been a while. Look, now I'm talking all this mess. The spirits are like, oh, we're going to have fun with her ass tonight. There's been times where I've been completely, and for me, it's like I'm not scared to have the experience. I'm just taken off guard. I don't like to be startled. And so it takes me a moment once I'm startled that throws me off. Because I remember one time now this was a really weird story where I was laying down and I opened my eyes and I saw it looked like just some kind of light being because there was no real face per se or anything, but I saw the eyes and the smile and smiling at me. And I was like, oh, hell no. I was just like, I did this thing where I just felt like I energetically pushed it away. And I could feel like literally this energy force just went whoosh. And I was like, oh my God. Well, now what was crazy, a couple days after that, I was watching Debbie Freebird's Spirit. And she's like, oh, Sonia, I have a message for you. Like just out of the blue in the middle of her live stream. And I'm like, huh? And so I, emailed her later and because she had to remember what it was. And she was like, oh, I had this, she explained it to me, but what it was like, she described like this light being that I saw. And I told her what happened. And she said, well, then it came to me to give you this message. And I was like, oh my
Well, tell it go there first. Introduce yourself and make an appointment, and then I'll see you later.
Make an appointment. There you go. I like that. Can we make appointments, please?
Because you don't just creep up on me like that.
Yeah, that freaked me out. Especially to see you laying down, you open your eyes, and you see another face looking at you, and you're like, and you didn't invite them in your bed? Hello. Excuse me. What did Deb say? I lived with a married couple when my kids were little. The dude thought it was hilarious to stand in the shower tub with the curtain pulled. Wait for me to sit on the toilet and just that's evil. No, that's wrong. That's funny. That is funny. And she said he also crawled under my bed. He was that skinny. Wait for me to get in the bed, almost fall asleep, then grab my no. No. Now that's not cool. That would freak me the hell out. That's not cool. Yeah. Kelly says, when I was growing up with my dad, with hide and jump out with the rolled newspaper and tap us with it. We were two little girls, and we would shriek and laugh and cry all at the same time. It was fun. That's hilarious. You remind me of my my brother and my dad used to hide and jump out and try to scare me all the time. And when I saw Amityville Horror, I read the book, which scared the crap out of me. And then when I saw the movie, it made it worse because it felt like everything come alive. Well, they would do this thing. They would hide behind the curtain. Remember that theme song? It's terrifying.
I have it on my phone.
Well, they would sing that. Like I would be coming down the stairs and they would behind start singing that song. Oh my God. So they would torture me with this. Well, that was the thing that we did as a family. We used to jump out and scare each other. So my brother lives with a friend of his, and he has two boys, and they're young. Even my little nieces, when they were little, we would jump out and scare them, like, oh, boo, and they would be like, hee, we're just scare each other. So my brother did it to these two little boys, and they looked at him and go, they burst out crying. They go, why would you do that?
That's me. I'm like,
I was like, those poor kids. They need to come grow up with us. We would break them in really quick. Oh, it's so funny.
I can't do pranks. I worked with a lady when we worked in a store where we sold toys and all that, and she had a little snake, like a little plastic snake, and did like that. And I knew it because I seen her coming, so it wasn't like she was trying to scare me or anything, or maybe she was. I said, okay, so let's have a meeting right now. I don't do pranks and practical jokes. We gonna fight. She's in her 60s and she's like 5'4". We gonna fight. Don't do me. Go somewhere else with that. It's called playing too much where I come from.
Yeah. Marsha Green says we would have been fighting big time. Yeah. Darren says, leave the car at. Oh, I think I missed part of yours here. I'm a history nut, so I visit Antietam. Did I pronounce that right? Isn't that the same as in Gettysburg Battlefield many times? Isn't that the name of that movie that what's her name was in? Oh, what's her name? That was a good movie too. You can experience some interesting things at Civil War battlefield. My friend, who's also part Shawnee, said she didn't want to leave the car at Antietam. She could see many soldiers. I think see spirits much easier than other people. What was that name of that movie? Oh gosh, with
someone here in Pittsburgh. He went to the battlefield too. Took a bunch of pictures. He got a lot of haze and a lot of things, but he says when you're not looking through the camera, you can see. Well, he could anyway. He could see a bunch of people there.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, I'll pass. I don't want to see. I don't mind the hearing part because I'm used to it now with the mediumship thing, but I don't want to see.
Mama Bear. She says, when I was practicing tarot, I was reading on Brian Laundry, the guy that killed his girlfriend, later that night, 1 a.m., my doorknob was shaking like someone was trying to come into my room. She said it woke me up. I look on my phone at the camera because I have cameras in my house and no one was at my door, but I could still hear my doorknob shake. Wow. Well, I think too, it's like really important. After live streams, for me personally, everybody has their thing. I'm very much, I clear my energies after I do any readings, mediumships, anything. I always clear. And, I always, before readings, I call in my guides, ancestors, and certain angels that I work with to come in. So I feel very well protected when I'm doing stuff, but everybody has their own thing. Some people feel that they don't need it, but it's up to the individual what you feel.
I don't ever need it because mine is more of a channeling thing. So it's like there's like a spirit block in between me and ugly energy, especially what we read on most of the time on my channel. So it's like a spirit block. So nothing is on me, so I can go about my day. The problem I have is disconnecting from the people I'm on the screen with, is cutting the cord. Like I can't easily how do you say it properly? Instead of unattach my energy from the live streams, because my vibration goes through the roof and then I'm communicating with the person here. So once the live stream ends, my mind is still going and it's still sort of there in the live stream. Okay. And so it's hard for me to cut that off because like an hour later, I'm still thinking about something they said or adding things to the conversation that we're no longer having.
And it's like, Johnny, it's over. It's done. Let it go.
I was like, okay, we're not.
Everybody's gone to bed and you still up there trying to work things out.
Yes, I do that. And it's so hard for me to cut that cord. I can do a reading on something horrible and nothing. But a live stream with other people, I'm 2 hours later, it's still going on in my head. So
wow.
That's one of them things too. That's my problem.
You can try my ring of fire that I was talking about. Allow yourself to imagine stepping into this ring and you're cutting all the cords off around you. And I'd be curious to know if that helps you out a little bit. All right. What is that? Rapping? No. I miss what J Rock was saying there. All right, guys, we're going to start wrapping this up because I just realized. Look, see what we talk about, how time goes.
Easy to do.
2 hours already. Yeah, I don't do any more. Like, so when I did my horror film, I didn't do exorcisms and all that kind, devil type stuff and all that kind of stuff. I'm just like, that's a whole nother weird level.
I like monsters and slashers.
Yeah, monsters and slashers, that kind of stuff. Or good psychological thriller. I'll tell you, the last psychological thriller I watched messed me up. What was the name of that movie? Midsummer. Did any of you? It's spelled like this: Midsomm. It's either AR or ER. I can't remember. Let me see. That thing. And I watched AR. I watched the directors because I was so intrigued with this movie. And see, this is the kind of thrillers that I think are like wow. So the director, he created a set for this movie, and it's based, I want to say something like Switzerland or something. These kids go on a European trip to go to this guy's village. And it's one of those, like, people have like the flowers around their head, like the Maypo, like Beltane. And yeah, exactly, Mama Bear. Wasn't it weird? And he built the set for this movie. He brought in people that painted the set with all the intricacies. Even the costumes were down to the last little detail. So like anywhere that you look in that film, there was something to catch the eye. So you were completely pulled in. So that was the first thing that he did. He really pulls you into this movie. and all these people are connected in one way or another, and it's so weird and so freaky that I, I left that thing. I was just kind of like, you're going to sleep at night. You're like, why did I watch that? But I mean, he did Sweden. Okay, it was Sweden. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I know. You kept watching it, right? You couldn't help it. You had to keep watching it because it was so enticing. It's just crazy. Oy.
That's but I have such bad attention span when it comes to movies. That's what it has to do. If you don't pull me in and you start too slow, then I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then I'm going to start
It's a little
wandering
boring
around
in the beginning because they're kind of laying it out there. But as soon as they get on that plane because the beginning, it's kind of like, but as soon as they get to Sweden, it's like, okay, this is on and popping now. Yeah, it's very interesting. All right, peoples. What's this? It's very bad. Wait until someone wants to scare you while you're in the mirror house at the fairgrounds and you're trying to get the hell away.
Me and mirrors were never friends because we grew up with the Bloody Mary thing. And so I believed it when I was a kid.
Yeah, my sister to this day is still afraid of Candyman.
Mm-hmm.
When she saw that movie. And what's so funny, she came out to visit me, this was years ago when she was young. She came out to visit me out here in California. And she went to go work out at the Y that was over here. And he works out there. And so she saw him and she just went, she went the other way. And I'm like, girl, he's an actor.
Oh,
Like, no, that's Candyman. That was Candyman. Oh, goodness. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out, talking and doing these readings. Appreciate you all. Don't forget, I'll be on this Friday morning for coffee chat and then with Lisa for Can You Sing It? So take care, be well, and we'll see you later.